Welcome back. Today we're going to be updating the firmware on your BrainPad. There is software that always lives on your BrainPad called the firmware. The firmware is basically the TinyCLR operating system. It is the magic behind the BrainPad. It's what makes everything happen on the BrainPad. Now, this may not be the latest on your BrainPad. We always have revisions coming out, and we try to ship the BrainPad with the latest revision, but maybe you have a desired version you want to use, or you want to get the latest version or an older version. There is a way for you to change the software, the operating system that is running on the BrainPad. Now, the BrainPad as we know it, it has these 4 buttons down there, and these 4 buttons have special feature on power up. You can use these buttons to put the BrainPad in a special mode, and then through that special mode you can update the firmware on your BrainPad. So you've received your BrainPad and you have determined that you need to update the software on it. You would start by connecting the BrainPad to your PC, just like always. So this is not new. Your PC will detect the BrainPad and loads the driver, and then you need to update the firmware on the BrainPad. So to do that, you would hold the left button. This is the secret button. You would hold the left button down and reset it. Just press and reset while keep holding the reset at the same time. When you do this, and then on your PC, if you open the device manager, this is optional. If you open the device manager and look, you would see that the BrainPad is showing up under COM ports. So there is a virtual COM port. It's called GHI Bootloader Interface, and it has like some number. On my, it could be like COM3, COM4 on your PC. On my PC, well, my PC would not match what you would have, but it will be a COM port labeled GHI Bootloader. Now, through this is a virtual serial port, and through the serial port, you can send the new firmware to the BrainPad. The way you would do that is through any terminal software using X modem. My favorite is Tera Term. It's an open and free software that you can download online. So you would search online for Tera Term, you would download it on your PC. And then when you open Tera Term, it's going to ask you for a new connection. And then under the new connection, you have 2 options. There is TCP/IP, that's not the network, and there's the serial. Now, on the serial, you will see GHI Bootloader Interface, and it lists the COM port number, so you know that's the one. Your PC might have multiple serial ports, and you can easily identify which one is the proper one by seeing which one says GHI Bootloader Interface. So you select that one, click OK. That's all you have to do. Now, from this point on, I'm connected now to the BrainPad. I can now, for example, hit V, enter. Now, when I hit V, you're not going to see it on the screen because this is sent to the BrainPad. You only see what's coming back. So V, enter, it's giving me back the version number of the bootloader that's running on here, and it's ready to accept the software. To update the software, I would use U for update. To erase the software, I would use E for erase. Those are easy to remember. Now, this is documented on the website, but I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way so you don't have to go and read documentation. So I'll do E, enter. It's going to ask me, are you sure? I'm going to hit Y, enter, and it shows erasing. So now it's erasing everything on BrainPad's memory. It said, OK, it's done. So I'm going to hit U for update, enter. And it's asking me if I am sure I want to update, yes. And now it's sending back letter C. This is stating that it's ready for communication, ready to accept the X modem file coming from your PC. So now I go under File, Transfer, X modem, Send. And this is very important here. You have to select 1K. This 1K option is very important. If you don't select that, it's not going to work. So then you have to repeat all the steps. So go find your file. So I have it on, let's see, my desktop right here. And this is a firmware I want to send. This is the FES firmware. I would pick the FES firmware, open, and it's now transferring the file. This only takes Like 5 seconds. Now it's done. My BrainPad now has the latest software. That's all I have to do. So now I can reset the board, and now it's running the software I have loaded, the TinyCLR software. That's the operating system I have loaded on the board. Now, additionally, I want to show you how to update the bootloader itself on the board, which you shouldn't need to do, but just in case, for whatever reason, you need to update the bootloader on your BrainPad, or you've made your own BrainPad, and you want to load the bootloader, this is how you would do it. There is a small button down up here. It's called Boot 0. You would press Boot 0. You shouldn't use that Boot 0 ever. Only if you need to update the bootloader, which, again, this is extremely rare. So you hold it down and you reset. Now, under Device Manager, you would see, under USB, you would see STM Device DFU Mode. You can use now this interface to update the bootloader. You shouldn't need to do that, but that's how you do it. You would download the ST tools from STMicroelectronics. They have a package and for DFU update. And then under your PC, you would open DfuSe demo software. And in that software, I would click on Choose, the Choose button. I would select the bootloader. This is going to be a DFU file. So select the bootloader, open, and then upgrade. Click Yes, and this will erase and flash your BrainPad. It just did, actually. It flashed the BrainPad with the latest bootloader. Now, last thing I want to also mention is, what if you have the old BrainPad and you want to update the software on it? Now, the key difference between the two, I forgot to mention this earlier, when we selected the software, we picked the Fez software. We didn't pick a BrainPad software. What is Fez? Fez is our reference firmware for TinyCLR operating system. It's called Fez, for fast and easy. And that same software runs on the BrainPad. So the BrainPad uses that Fez software. That's all you need to know. You get the Fez software, run it on here. Done. Now, for the old BrainPad, that's not the Fez software. This is the G30 chip provided by GHI Electronics. So this is an older product. It uses GHI's G30 chip. And you will know this because this has like a sticker on it, and it's the old BrainPad with a traffic light. Let me show you the old BrainPad. So this is the old BrainPad. If you see a traffic light in the top right corner, then you have the old BrainPad. To update the firmware on the old BrainPad, connect USB like before. For the small BrainPad, we use the left button. On the old BrainPad, you would use the top button, and the reset is down here in the middle. So reset. Hold the top button, reset, release. And the process now is exactly the same as before. I would go to Tera Term, I would find my COM port, I would open my COM port. The only difference now, I would send an X, because this is sending a special firmware from GHI, the G30 firmware. So I would send the X command. Are you sure? Yes. You can erase first if you want. And then transfer X modem just like before, send. Make sure the 1K is selected. This is very important. And then over here, I would pick the G30 firmware. And note that the G30 firmware file type is GHI, where the Fez firmware file type is GLB. GLB is the GHI loader binary. That's what GLB is. So that's a binary file that you load through the U command, the update command. Now the GHI specific stuff, you would use the X command for that. This is extra detail if you are more advanced user and you want to know what's going on. So I pick G30, open, and the process, just like the other BrainPad, it takes about 5 seconds to upload your software. And now your BrainPad has the latest software, the software you want. We have just announced a release last week, so if you have a BrainPad, this is how you update it. Go grab the latest release, see the release notes so you're aware of what changed and what's new. Update your BrainPad, and you're ready for tons of fun. We'll see you next week.